All right. I had to come off of my vacation so that we could look at this challenge between DJ FaZe and Cologne. One of these dudes is not supposed to be talking. One of them is not supposed to be talking about hip hop on the internet, making videos, or none of that. One of these dudes should not be saying nothing. So we're going to figure out who it is that should be silent right now. Not talking, being quiet. Let's figure this out. So let's listen to what the challenge is in their own words.
So the challenge was, if he could prove that he DJ'd at a TBB anniversary, that I would stop talking about hip hop. But he also said that if he could not prove what he says, that he would stop talking about hip hop. Well, as we're going to see, he did not prove.
We're going to see who's really real by this challenge. Now, what he said was, the challenge was that if I presented evidence that I DJ'd at the TBB anniversary, then he would not say nothing online or anything about hip hop ever again.
Listen to what he's saying.
And I said the same thing. If I couldn't produce evidence that I actually DJ'd for the TBB anniversary, that I would no longer say anything about hip hop.
Now, let's see if he honors his statement. You heard it. It's on record. There's no getting around it. Let's see if he honors this.
That was the challenge, okay?
You can't back out now. You've already put your foot in your mouth, and you've already committed to the challenge. Okay, so you can't back out now. So let's see what the evidence is really showing.
The elders and rest in peace, Mario, are looking down at me. You know, they're looking down and they're saying, FaZe, you know, we taught you that no matter what, keep your word. Keep your word. And my word was that I would produce this evidence.
So keep your word when we clearly show that you did not DJ at a TBB anniversary. We're going to clearly demonstrate this.
So DJ FaZe is going to present the evidence that he DJ'd at a TBB anniversary event, and Cologne is going to prove that he did not. All right, so I'm obviously biased against Cologne, okay? But let's see if I can be objective. I'm going to try to be objective and take a look at this challenge. And if I'm not being objective, if I cut something out, some vital information, an argument that needs to be looked at, let me know in the comments. We'll deal with it in there. But I think this is a pretty simple challenge to figure out who should be talking and who should not be. So we're going to start with the evidence shown by DJ FaZe. This is from Cologne's response video. It's an hour long. Go watch it just in case I'm not being fair.
Where he called me. He called me and says, DJ FaZe, here's my number and I'll make sure you're in. And he gave the number. I'll hit you up when I get to New York City, Bronxdale, in the house. Okay, and I said, yes, sir, Chuck City. Okay, so this is where he actually called me.
Okay, now, and I'm going to put this on my screen as well. So a text message is different than a call. He did not call him. What he's showing is a text message that reads, DJ FaZe, here is my number, and I'll make sure you in. He gives the number. I'll hit you up when I get to New York City, Bronxdale, in the house. Okay, let's look at this in context. I'll make sure you're in. In what? He doesn't say, make sure you're in what? Make sure you get into the anniversary. Make sure you get into the food drive. Make sure you get, what is the I'll make sure you get in? So again, I'm going to get you in. We're not sure what that really means at this point. Now he's going to continue, and it would definitely seem like he's referring to the TBB anniversary.
To get in what? Okay, well, the TBB anniversary is a free event. DJ FaZe would not need Ray to help him get in to the event. I think it's possible that he's talking about getting him into the lineup of DJs. Maybe not. It's not clear. But I also don't think it's important. What's important here is this establishes DJ FaZe was invited by his friend from TBB, Ray, 1 month before the event.
He has a lot of people fooled into believing that he was at a TBB anniversary. He was invited to DJ, and he shows these pictures. I mean, it's clear. He shows these pictures, but what is the context of these pictures? Yet we have no pictures outside of DJ FaZe and his boy Ray in front of the turntables. Those are the only two people you see. Keep this in mind. Ray and FaZe. It's no doubt it's FaZe. It's no doubt it's Ray. It's no doubt it's at the venue where this was being held. But what is in doubt? But once again, we definitely have a picture of Ray and FaZe behind the turntable in what seems to be the same venue. But we got to determine the context to really get to the bottom of, did DJ FaZe DJ at the TBB anniversary?
Now, normally, if you tell someone that you did something and then you show a picture of you doing it, that's enough evidence. That should be enough evidence right there. All right, let's continue. Let's see what else he says.
So once again, there is one lone picture, two lone pictures. You and Ray Lopez behind the turntable. Then there's another picture of just you, DJ FaZe, with a microphone in your hand. I find it funny that you had a mic in your hand when you had no authority from those who chose DJs to play at their anniversary. Who gave you the authority to grab a mic and start talking on the mic? I can't prove this, but what it looks like to me is that was a photo op. You just wanted to look like you had a mic and you were talking. You just wanted to look like you were DJing. We got to determine, when were you doing this?
All right, so this is Cologne's only explanation for the evidence that FaZe is presenting. Let's go back and look at the picture. According to Cologne, FaZe is maybe just doing a photo op. He's pretending to be DJing, pretending to be on the mic, which, you know, I mean, it's possible, but doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So this is a gym. Anybody can get a microphone and take a picture in a gym somewhere. It's not on stage with some lights and a fake photo shoot. It's in a gym. DJ FaZe can't pick up a microphone and stand somewhere. He has to go to the TBB anniversary and pretend. You know, even if he didn't have any turntables in 2016, I'm sure he knows somebody with some turntables that he could fake a picture. Why would he have to go all the way to the TBB anniversary to pretend to be on some turntables? That's Cologne's best argument for what he sees in front of him.
Ray and I and me DJing at this anniversary.
Okay, now listen to what he says. I'm going to show you the picture. This is Ray and him, and he says at the actual event. Now, in speaking to Johnny Juice did say that is the area in the room. But Johnny Juice had a couple of questions. Number one, Johnny Juice says that at that anniversary and at most of the events, it is his turntable setup that is used. And sometimes it's Tony Tone's sound system.
So actually, Johnny Juice went into the comment section of Cologne's video, and he says that he knows whose turntables those are. A TBB DJ Charlie Hustle.
So Johnny Juice saw this picture and said, that's not my setup. I don't know whose setup that is. Number one. Number two, they are not going to allow DJs that are not part of the TBB roster to just show up and set their stuff up. Number three, once again, Ray Lopez did not have the authority to allow some other DJ to just bring his set and come on in. Now, it is the same room, no doubt. But the question is, is this picture from that anniversary. When was this picture taken? Whose equipment is that? If DJ Faze says that's his equipment, then there's another question that needs to be answered. Who gave him permission to bring his equipment when Johnny Juice was clear in saying, I use my equipment at these anniversaries, my turntables, my mixer?
All right, so it's actually Charlie Hustle's equipment. Yeah. And there's Faze DJing on it.
Okay, so we have to determine what this picture is. So what it looks like is, it looks like Faze is posing. He got his hand on the turntable. He's just posing for a picture. We don't know if this was at the beginning of the food drive, which is different from the after party anniversary jam. It's the food drive. And they're playing music. There's DJs playing, okay? So we don't know when this picture takes place.
All right, so we're starting to get into some of the little sleight of hand techniques that Cologne is guaranteed to play. This is the event that DJ Faze was talking about. He DJ'd at TBB, TBG, Rockin' Crew 41st anniversary and 7th annual food drive. All right. He says he was DJing at the anniversary, so this is the event. There's 2 events that day. He didn't say he played at the official after party. All right. That may be the more official joint, whatever. This one on the flyer says it's the anniversary. So if he DJ'd at the gym, that's the anniversary.
Oh, right there. That's it.
Okay, so what he's going to show us here is these 2 flyers. He's going to show us one that is, and let me put this on the full screen so I can see it. So one of them is TBB, TBG, the Bronx Boys and the Bronx Girls Rockin' Crew 41st anniversary and 7th annual food drive. That's the first flyer you see on the top. That's the food drive.
All right, it says right on the flyer, 41st anniversary. If this is what he was DJing at, he DJ'd at the anniversary. Simple.
Okay? Now, it tells us where this happens. But then you see on the bottom, Abby 183rd, the president, presents the Bronx Boys Rockin' Crew 41st anniversary official after party. So this is where the jam is really happening. And we see Saturday, October 8th, 7 to 12 p.m. Okay? And it mentions the DJs. One of them is Beatman. One of them is Louie Lou. One of them is Solo 138. Special invited guest, DJ Jazzy J, Grandmaster Flash. Okay? Nowhere is Faze on this flyer.
And he obviously wasn't DJing at that event. The picture is at the earlier event in the gym.
His name is not on the flyer. Once again, in speaking directly to the prez and the vice prez, they don't just let DJs show up. The only time that they do this is if they're going to do what's called an Apache line.
And no one's name is on the flyer for the event that he said he DJ'd at.
When were these pictures taken? Who took these pictures? When was this happening? Did this happen before anything got started? Was this a photo op of him trying to look like he was DJing? I don't know. But all those other things you have to take into consideration. Okay? That's what we have to take into consideration.
Yes, we have to take we have to take into consideration that Ray invited Faze to show up and pretend to DJ for a photo instead of Ray got him into the lineup for the event that doesn't even have any DJs on the flyer. What's more likely? Somebody was fake DJing at a gym that like they really wanted that background that they would go all the way to a venue and take a picture like that? Or was they just there DJing just like the picture looks like? Come on, man.
If it was at that 41st anniversary, which is the anniversary that he claimed to be at, the only one he claimed to be at, Johnny Juice already told me that equipment is not my equipment and I used my equipment that night.
That's right. In the early event, it was Charlie Hustle's equipment.
There was no need for anyone to get you in. All are invited. Later on in the evening, we have the actual anniversary celebration that is a paid event. The actual anniversary is the paid event.
So they're trying to say that the early event is not the actual event. Even though the flyer says 41st anniversary, it's not, that doesn't count. The other flyer says it's the after party, but that's the main one. You know, if he was DJing at either one on the anniversary at the TBB event, it seems like that would count.
FaZe responds to Johnny Juice. And I do remember you. This is important. And I do remember you and actually gave you a compliment for playing Candido. So Johnny Juice responds. He says, interesting. You remember me playing a record, but I don't remember any of your set. I didn't even stay to hear your set. And you were definitely anxious to get on if I remember correctly. Stop right there. Didn't he say he gave him a pound and congratulated him on playing a song called Candido? But now he says, I didn't even stay to hear your set. Do you see the inconsistencies in this story? Let's keep going.
How is that an inconsistency? He didn't say he stayed for the whole set and then said he didn't stay for the set. He stayed for one song. Maybe Johnny Juice put that song on first. That's not possible. That doesn't make sense.
Yet you just said you complimented me on a song I played. How does that work? And you stated I was anxious to get on my own set. I do this every year. The reason we even allow other DJs is so that we can run around and take care of other things like accounting for the food collected.
Well, there you go. Other DJs are allowed on the set, right? Come on. All right, let's go back to this part because we can see some of the little sleight of hands that Cologne was obviously going to use.
So once again, there is one lone picture, two lone pictures. You and Ray Lopez behind the turntable. Then there's another picture of just you, DJ FaZe, with a microphone in your hand. I find it funny that you had a mic in your hand when you had no authority from those who chose DJs to play at their anniversary. Who gave you the authority to grab a mic and start talking on the mic? I can't prove this, but what it looks like to me is that was a photo op. You just wanted to look like you had a mic and you were talking. You just wanted to look like you were DJing. We got to determine when were you doing this.
So here's a third picture that for some reason Cologne left out of his presentation. It looks more like he was actually DJing in this picture. I think that's why Cologne left it out. And you can also see somebody in the background there. You know, maybe Johnny Juice or somebody could tell us who that is in the background there. Maybe they remember it. It seems like Cologne didn't want to show this picture. That's not honest. Maybe it was a mistake. So I think this is interesting. The way Cologne crops this text message, the way DJ FaZe shows it, is it has a flyer in it, which clearly shows the event that Ray was inviting him to. Could it be an honest mistake? I don't know. Let's go back and listen to what Cologne said he was going to show.
That no matter what, keep your word. Keep your word. And my word was that I would produce this evidence.
So keep your word when we clearly show that you did not DJ at a TBB anniversary. We're going to clearly demonstrate this.
Listen, when someone has photographic evidence to back up the claim that they were DJing somewhere, and here's pictures with DJ FaZe DJing, and the only real evidence against that is coming up with, maybe he was pretending. Come on, man. There's people in jail. People go to prison with less evidence, without any type of photographic evidence. This clearly shows that DJ FaZe DJ'd at the TBB 41st anniversary. He has a picture of him doing it.
So to end this, it's right, like it has not been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, that he was DJing at a TBB anniversary. We have a picture of Ray Lopez. We have a picture of a TBB logo. We have a picture of him and Ray Lopez in a room that would have been the same room that the event would have happened. But we have other pictures where they are nowhere in the pictures. We have people who testified they didn't see him at that event and they were at that event. This leads to the question, what is the context of the pictures he showed? Was he invited by Ray Lopez? Quite possibly, but here's my point. If you're invited, now he claims he was going to another gig. All right, cool. Here's my point. There's only 2 or 3 pictures of you with Ray and you by yourself. You're at an anniversary event and you didn't take pictures with anybody else, and you don't have to answer anything. I'm just saying you did not prove anything. Therefore, your name was not on the flyer. Your name was not on any of the flyers. Nobody remembered you except somebody who's not here to verify anything. And then we have that text message that says, I'm going to get you in. In what? As my special guest, I'm going to get you into DJ. He had no power to do that or even allow that. Those are the facts. So no, you did not prove your point. So no, you did not prove your point. Okay? The context proves otherwise. You were nowhere to be found. And therefore, based on your own admission, you need to stop talking about hip hop. But of course, you're not going to do that. I think I proved my point. Grace and peace.
Come on, man.